And I want you to stop drinking immediately.
Why don't you just have me buried?
Never mind the sarcasm.
I still plan to live until I die.
Come on, Wyatt. You ought to go to sleep now.
I'll see you in the morning, Doc.
That was a bad one, Wyatt. If he keeps on at this rate, I wouldn't give you a nickel for his chances. Maybe you can make him see it.
I've tried as hard as you have. He's stubborn.
Well, at least get him to stop drinking so much.
I'll do what I can, Doc.
Dr. John H. Holliday was Wyatt Earp's friend. As Wyatt was to say in later years, Doc was a dentist whom lung disease made a frontier vagabond, a philosopher whom life had made a caustic wit. At the same time, the nerviest, speediest, deadliest man with a six-gun I ever knew. But this friendship was also a burden to the Marshal of Tombstone.
Where you want this? I'll put it on the table. Anybody see you?
Nope. Come by the aisles and the back stairs. Boy, this stuff sure is heavy. You want the rest of it up here?
No. What does that label say?
Says standard 100 proof bottled in bond. Just like you ordered, Wyatt. Ain't nothing to show the proof's been cut in half, neither. Appears to be a neat job.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Think it'll work?
Well, it's got to work. Doc hasn't cut down on his drinking at all. At least that water stuff will cut him in half.
Yeah, but what if he starts drinking twice as much of this here stuff?
That's impossible.
Well, what if he switches brands?
Don't worry, Doc won't switch brands. No, sir, Doc would rather be caught dead than drink any other brand than that. Go on and distribute this stuff to the barkeeps down the street.
All right, sir. I don't think it's going to work, though.
Shotgun, we got to do something. You heard what Dr. Goodfellow said, didn't you?
Yeah, he said it was bad, all right.
If it wasn't, I wouldn't pull something like this, or if I could think of another way. Now, you go on and take it down the street.
Poor Doc.
Morning, Doc.
Greetings, Hogan.
Usual?
Yes.
What kind of liquor is this? Tastes like soda pop. Let's try another bottle. Yes, sir. What's wrong with it? I don't know. You try some. Yes, sir. Strong? Like a mule? I've been drinking this brand for 20 years. It's either a spoiled mash or it's been cut. Cut? So hard to prove, Doc. You broke the seal yourself. I'm not accusing you, Hogan. We're confronted with a mystery. And I'm going to solve it.
Then, after he left Doc Goodfeller's office, he went over to Oriental. Collected a few IOUs over there and told them fellers that couldn't pay that they better raise the money by tomorrow or else. Doc thinks he's gonna die real soon.
Now, maybe that's good.
Good?
Mr. Gibbs, we should all live as if we're going to die real soon. In this business, it could happen.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right, but it's awful bad on a man like Doc, ain't it?
Drinking that much is awful bad, too.
Yeah. Well, he ain't drinking now.
Doc never did believe that he could really die someday. That's been his trouble all along. Now, maybe he'll take better care of himself. Won't be so eager to rush into gunfights.
Yeah, I don't know about that, White. Seems to me it could go the other way.
You'll see I'm right. This'll settle him down.
Yeah, I hope so. But I ain't as sure as you are.
Come in.
They're paying up, Doc. The word got around good.
I know it would. How much this time, Hogan?
About 1,500, sir. You count it.
Man is a foolish animal, Hogan. He exaggerates the value of his own life. All the gamblers who owe me put together aren't worth $1,500. Would you put up $1,500 to help them?
I ain't the good Lord, Doc. I wouldn't know.
That's the best proof there is of Lord. His divine tolerance. He allows men free will to go to the devil as they choose.
Yes, sir. Tom and Frank McLaury in town.
Oh? Well,
At the bird cage?
good. Any other Clanton men with them?
No, sir. Just Tom and Frank. Them is top guns. Ain't there enough?
No. I like Ringo and brochures, too. It's a good deed I could do before I go.
Yes, sir. You gotta excuse me, Doc. I gotta get back to my job.
I hear Doc Holliday's drinks turned on him.
Yeah, he can't get no kick out of it at all anymore. Doc's pickled in alcohol, that's why.
Like a horse with too much oats. He founders himself.
You gentlemen discussing me?
Hello, Doc.
Whole town's talking about your drinks turning on you, Doc. Why don't you change your brand?
And where are your gun belts?
We left them on our saddles.
Good. You'll die in fresh air.
We got nothing against you, Doc.
Where's White Earp? Has he figured to bushwhack us out in the street?
White's not around. Outside.
Doc?
Move.
Get one of us. Let me draw first.
No. Wait.
Doc must be pretty bad off, or else he wouldn't take the two of us on without Earp to back him.
What's the use of maybe one of us dying just to get Doc?
We can't run.
Come on. Get your gun belts fastened.
What's your hurry?
No. We ain't fighting Doc. Get on your horse.
They'll think we're scared.
Let him think. He's gonna die soon anyway. Earp's the one we want, and we'll pick our own time. No fight, Doc. Easy.
Tom and Frank McLaury. You picked the fight, Doc?
Mr. Gibbs?
Happens to be my business.
No, it happens to be mine.
Really, Deacon.
You're my deputy. Were the McLaurys breaking the law?
Not at the moment.
Let's not argue on the street.
Yeah, you come on along, Doc. You ain't feeling too good.
According to the law, what does the law care about you? I've seen you risk your life at least 50 times, arresting hoodlums when you should have shot them. Do you know where you are? You're in Tombstone, Arizona. You're surrounded by a gang of hoodlums you haven't even made a dent in, and a crooked sheriff. Don't preach to me about the law. When Sheriff Bean is ready to have you murdered some night, the law won't even give you a decent burial.
Well, that may be true. But I don't need you to make things worse than they already are. You know, I thought that you might have learned something.
Learn what?
An officer either believes in the law or he turns in his star.
I've learned that. You know what? You should have been a judge back east somewhere. You don't belong out here.
You really want to quit?
Yes, I do.
We've been friends a long time.
Friends? Your moral rectitude was amusing, and I admire courage. But I've learned yours is a false courage. And I'd be a bigger fool if I were to help you walk into an open grave.
Doc, you're a sick man, otherwise you wouldn't pick a fight. You're just not yourself.
I am myself. But from now on, you and I are strangers. Hi, Doc. Is this some kind of play acting, Herb?
What?
You mean you and Doc really meant that?
You heard what he said?
I talked to you for a spell. What do you want?
I couldn't help but overhear what you said to Herb, Doc.
Sounds like you. Slow down enough.
You never did belong with him. Why don't you throw in with me?
What's the deal?
More money than you ever won gambling.
Oh?
Wells Fargo's shipping about $100,000 into Tombstone. Dick Gertz sold part of his mining property, and he's asking for half the payment in cash.
100,000?
Mm-hmm.
What'll be my cut?
Oh, 30,000?
$50,000.
50? All right, Doc, 50.
What am I supposed to do? The whole job single-handed?
No, you just find out when Wells Fargo's bringing that $100,000 into Tombstone. Thacker doesn't know you quit as Earp's deputy. Now, if you move along real fast, all you have to do is ask him.
Maybe. Who's going to make the heist?
3 good men. And nobody knows who they are but me, Doc.
Well, I've been considering visiting the bars over at Charleston and Galeyville. Some of those boys owe me money.
You can go there afterwards. Here, have a drink while you're thinking it over. Your own brand, too.
I'll accept your business proposition, but don't get the idea that we're friends. I wouldn't drink your whiskey even if it tasted good.
Well, it was a fool notion. Now that Doc thinks he's going to die, he's more reckless than ever. I have to tell him about the whiskey before he gets himself shot.
Holliday's turned in his badge and quit you. I know how you must feel.
He's just not himself. I never understood it, but just the same, when he has enough liquor, it steadies him down. This way he's going to get himself killed. I'm going to tell him I cut his whiskey in half.
Quiet.
shotgun have you seen, Doc?
Rode out of town.
Rode out. Which way?
Headed for Charleston, I reckon. Wyatt? You and Doc argue about them McLowrys?
No, he turned in his star. I'm afraid of what he's going to do next. You were right. I'm going to tell him the truth when he gets back. Tell him it was all my doing and that I want to apologize.
Howdy, Thacker.
Hello, Doc. Hey, you look tired.
I am.
Did you rest yourself?
Thank you.
Wyatt's been overworking you, huh?
As usual. Thacker, is there anything that the deacon ought to know?
Yes, there is. I meant to tell Wyatt as soon as I cleaned up the paperwork.
Then, why don't you give it to me? Maybe Wyatt'll let me go to bed.
Sure, Doc. Bringing in quite a bit of cash on the midnight stage. I figure that Wyatt and a couple of deputies ought to be around.
Yes, I should think so.
Come in.
Evening, Doctor.
What is it, Hogan? I have some house calls that won't wait long.
This from Doc Holliday. Some money, insurance policy, and some other stuff.
It would appear from this that Holliday wants to start a new hospital in memory of Wyatt Earp, to bear his name. Why in memory?
Doc never said nothing to me. Just asked me to tote this over to you.
Hands off. Should do it. Sonny, take this over the jail. Give it a wide up. Nobody else. Here, this for you. And remember, get out of there right away before he can question you.
The Wyatt Earp Memorial Hospital? And all his money.
I don't like the looks of it, Wyatt. Holliday's a violent man. He could be involved in something desperate himself. Or maybe he heard of a plot against your life.
Something's happened.
You got to find him, Wyatt.
I've tried. Mr. Gibbs and 3 other deputies are looking for him now. They'll find him. Hey, hold on.
What was that all about?
I don't know. It's from Doc. Well, he's going after Johnny B. and his final gesture to me.
Wells Fargo office, midnight. Being job. Try to take men alive, 3 of them. I don't understand it.
Well, you never did understand, Doc. Today he tried to gun the McLowrys for me. Now he's gonna double-cross Johnny Bean for me. He wants to give everything he has to me.
Is there that much good in Holliday?
According to his lights, yes. When Bean finds out about this, there's bound to be a gunfight. And if Bean gets lucky, Doc could be dead instead of our crooked sheriff. Now, I've got to find Gibbs and get over to the Wells Fargo office. Short in time, excuse me.
Where's Earp and Gibbs?
Looking for Doc Holliday? Look, all you have to worry about is that stage guard and Thacker.
Right. Where are you going to be?
I'll be at the Cosmopolitan Hotel. Now, this is an easy one. Grab that Wells Fargo box and take off.
Only 3 horses in the alley?
Yeah, that's right.
You couldn't spot the men?
If Ben schemed it, they'll drift along on foot when a stage pulls in.
All right, right, I'm gonna move into the alley. You stay here and wait until the stage stops. Remember, I want him alive.
All right, sir.
That's far enough, Bean.
Good work, boys.
Look out! All right, drop it. Get back over there. You won't get hurt. All right, boys, let's get out of here.
Hold it! I ain't killed him, Wyatt. I ain't killed him.
Thanks, Wyatt.
You and Mr. Gibbs get them on over to the jail.
Patch them up.
I'm gonna still try and find Doc.
Get inside, all of them. Come on, move along. Doc! Now, where are you been?
Later, Gibbs. This is Sheriff Bean. You ever seen him before?
No, never.
You lie. He hired you and the rest of your hoodlums. I tipped Bean off myself. That's how I know.
That's mighty interesting.
Oh, don't pay no attention to Doc. He's sober. All right. Boys, step right inside here. Get along.
I warned you, Doc, and I told her. You kill me and you both hang.
I wouldn't shoot you in cold blood.
No. And neither will you.
Oh, yes, I would, Johnny. I have but a few days left, and I might just as well die on the gallows as in bed. Don't try to pray. Just start cussing. Be an honest son of the devil. No, Doc. You can't do it, Doc. No, don't, Doc! That the way you want to take it? Like a sick dog?
Doc!
Get out of here. Here, try some of this. You were drinking so much, I watered your whiskey to keep you from killing yourself with it.
That was a sadistic thing to do to me. Tell me, Deacon, when did you come to your senses?
All right, Doc. You win this time, but I haven't given up on you yet.
Some people never know when they're well off. You know, Wyatt, greater love hath no man than that he giveth 100 proof to his best friend.
What are you doing up? There's no time for that. We gotta get there.
Keep your shirt on, Mr. Clanton. You forgetting where we are? The Apache's watching every move we make.
John Law's always acting scared of Apaches. No sand at all, any of you.
I told you I'd take care of this, and I will. Now put that gun away and take him off before you get us both killed.
Well, now you can take yours off, but I ain't losing mine.
One of the legends of Arizona Indians told about Spanish explorers who found gold and silver and stored it in a cave until they could take it to Spain. When the explorers were killed in a battle between rival tribes, their gold remained for white men to try to find. And on one occasion, the treasure caused trouble for Marshal Wyatt Earp.
We won't be gone any longer than we have to.
Well, you don't worry about nothing here, boy. You just take care of yourself. You too, Mr. Plum.
Chief Natchez thanks you for coming to San Carlos, Marshal Earp.
No thanks is needed.
Please, sit. When you were agent to Apaches, Mr. Clum, there was no trouble for us.
Well, I thank you, Chief Natchez. I wish I were here now. How bad is the situation?
I am more and more afraid for my people. Around the council fires, Chiricahua braves speak only of past victories. Our dead fighting chiefs are becoming warriors, not farmers. While they drink white man's whiskey.
Chief Natchez, they're not getting it in Tombstone.
You been able to get anything to tell you where they buy the whiskey?
They tell me nothing. For many sons, things are not good at San Carlos. They blame me, the son of Cochise. My young braves listen only to those who would go with Geronimo. They will go.
Across the border, huh?
It's my guess that Geronimo's lost too many braves in these raids the last few months. Isn't that true, Chief Natchez? Well, now, where else is he going to recruit new warriors but here?
Mr. Clum, I promised Cochise, my father, I would keep peace, and I have kept it. I do not want to go on the war trail with Geronimo, but I must have help.
What's the agent doing?
Well, he's the cause of all their unhappiness, Ward. He hates Apaches. He throws them in jail. He allows them no other recourse.
He steals our rations, sells them to men in Tucson.
He's in with the 10% rate?
Everything points to it.
Well, then you tell me how catching whiskey peddlers is going to cure that?
Well, he's under investigation right now, Wyatt. All we can hope to do is to keep the young braves from going over to Geronimo before he's replaced.
But your whiskey speaks for Geronimo, not for peace.
It's impossible to cover the whole territory, but I can watch the outlaw hangouts, patrol more trails.
We shall see. You have been a good friend, Mr. Clum.
I thank you, Chief Natchez. Marshal Earp here is your good friend, too.
I give you my word, I'll do everything possible. Trouble for you means trouble for me. Goodbye.
Goodbye, Chief.
Nula, if you'll just tell us where that cave is, if there's any gold there, well, me and Ben will do all the work.
It is forbidden to speak of it.
Oh, come on, Nula. You're the one that told us about the legend in the first place.
I told the legend, this story to my friends. It is only a legend.
You Apaches, you just want all that gold and silver for yourselves, that's all.
No, the Yellowstone belongs to the gods, not to Apaches. Not to you either.
Nula!
Ike! The whiskey.
Oh, yeah, the whiskey.
Nula, that's all right. Forget it. Look, we brought you a present. We brought you a jug of whiskey.
This'll make us all feel better. Makes me thirsty just thinking about it.
Yeah, try it out. See if it's good.
It is good. Nula thanks you.
Nula, you know, them Chiricahuas are going to like what we got in them barrels, huh?
Yeah, it's me and Ike. Well, it isn't everyone that would take the chance to sell you whiskey more than once.
That is so.
You know, it's a long, hot ride back to the reservation, Nula. Come on, have another swallow.
Well, we're not going to be leaving for a spell. Now, why don't you just come over here and join us? Sit down and have a drink. Come on.
Hey, wait a minute. We better take him with us.
What for? He told us where the cave was, didn't he? We don't need him. Let him sleep there.
Papa, you said it yourself. Frank and the boys ought to be back from the border by now.
Yeah, Papa, they might be in trouble. Get to the point, boys. You've been talking around it long enough.
Well, let Ike and me ride down to the border and see what the trouble is.
Won't take us more than 3 or 4 days. Well, if you're that fidgety, go on. A week in the saddle will slow you down.
Thanks, Papa.
Not so fast, boys. Ain't you forgot something? Oh, I forgot about the whiskey, Papa. I'm sorry. That's better. Now, Ike, you're the oldest. You take care of your brother. No fighting, you hear me? Yeah, Papa. Drawed my guns and I shot him down 'cause he was a-trying to run my town.
Look like Indian ponies? Yeah, sure do look like Indian ponies. Loaded down with something, too. Let's take a look.
What happened, Wyatt?
You know him?
Yes, Nula's my friend. What's he done?
We caught him on the trail with a string of ponies loaded with whiskey barrels.
He is drunk yourself. This here jug's plumb empty.
They trusted you, a boy?
Mr. Clown, I am warrior. I buy whiskey for Chiricahua warriors.
You sound like a plain errand boy to me.
Nula, anybody else buying whiskey for your tribe?
Cowboys sell only to me. They trust Nula. They're my friends.
They must be very good friends.
They bring me presents. We drink. We talk together. After I pay for barrels.
Whiskey traders aren't usually that generous, even with customers they trust.
These friends of yours, these cowboys, they want anything in return for their present?
They wish me to speak to them of the Yellowstone. They knew the legend. They want to find the cave.
What cave?
Oh, there's an old Indian legend, Wyatt, about some Spanish explorers came to Arizona. They lived with the Papago tribe. They found gold and silver, and they mined it and hid it in a cave to take back to Spain. Later on, there was an Indian war. The Papago tribe was attacked and killed. So were the Spaniards.
Whatever become of the gold and silver?
Well, nobody's ever seen it, Mr. Gibbs. It must still be there. They say the Indians know where it is.
Yeah. Ain't much them Indians don't know about these here hills.
No. Did you tell them?
Nula would never do that, Wyatt. He's been taught and trained never to tell a white man where to find gold, let alone lead him to it.
But they do not believe me. They want me to drink whiskey, so I tell. But I fool them. I say the cave is on San Carlos Reservation.
You told them that?
They cannot go there. The land belongs to us by white man's word. They cannot take the Yellowstone from San Carlos.
Well, nothing will stop them if they find gold there.
And if they don't, you're gonna be mighty sorry, Sonny.
What were their names?
Mr. Clem, it is not as the marshal says.
Nula, you hear me. Tell him who they were.
The 2 brothers, sons of Nehemiah Clanton.
Ike and Finn Clanton?
I do not tell them the right place.
John, you go to San Carlos for me. Take him with you.
All right, Wyatt. What'll I tell Natchez?
You tell him everything. Warn him if the Clantons come hunting for gold to keep his people out of sight and send for me. He must do nothing to stop them. If even one white man is shot, you know what it'll mean.
I'll warn him, Wyatt. Come on, Nula.
Mr. Gibbs, get the saddlebags.
Seems awful quiet down there. Think Clanton's done already left?
Hey, wait until his gunfighters come up from the border.
But it don't seem like he's getting ready.
No, it doesn't. I wonder if Ike and Finn could have done this on their own.
No, they got more sense than that.
Well, not if they're trying to show their papa they're growing up.
Them two. There's always a causing trouble.
Well, I'll post a deputy out here. We'll go on back and wait until we hear from Chief Natchez.
We just gonna sit on this keg of dynamite? The fuse is already done lit.
Now, Mr. Gibbs, you've been blown up before?
Yeah, but I ain't used to it yet. Neither's Roscoe.
Here are the ones.
They are alone. Go, watch them. Do not let them see you.
No. Gone and nothing. Like I told you, we should have brought Nula with us.
Wasn't my idea to get him drunk.
Don't tell me that. You're the one that kept egging him on. Little drink, Nula, just one more little drink. Oh, one more little drink. It got him so drunk he didn't know what he was saying. We should have made him show us.
Ben, why don't you grow up? Ain't no Apache gonna show us where this cave is. They would do it if I put a pistol to their heads.
Well, maybe not. There's about an hour of light left. I'm gonna go up here and have a look. Hey, Ike, a cave.
Where? Maybe that's the one.
Oh, there's nothing in here, Ike.
You know, Ben, Papa's gonna say that we did real good after we tell him about all this gold we're gonna find.
Papa's gonna say I did real good. This was my idea. And I'm gonna find that gold before you.
Oh, well, you just do that. It'll make you a real big man.
You always was jealous of me, Ike. Being older don't prove nothing.
Don't make me laugh, Ben. Well, if you're gonna find that cave all by yourself, you better start, little brother. Go on.
The little one goes too close.
Ike! Ike, bring your shovel! Over here! I found it! Ike, go! Ike! Ike! I will kill you for that! Ike, Ike, help me! Ike! Help me! Go! Ike, help me! Help me, Ike! I will kill you for that! You! So that's the thanks I get. Well, don't you worry. My papa will take care of you.
Where's the brother? He must not escape. He will bring others. Get him! Take him.
All right, you didn't go to the border like you said. You went to San Carlos. What I can't figure is how they took him and left you. They should have got both of you.
Papa, I told you. I came around them rocks as soon as I heard him yell. And there they was. They already had him caught.
All right, and what'd you do?
Well, there's nothing I could do. Papa, I couldn't shoot.
Why not? Didn't you have on that gun belt?
Yes, I had on my gun belt, but I couldn't shoot. They was fighting and moving around. If I'd have shot, I'd have shot Finn. Papa, there was nothing I could do.
Are you standing there, Ike, and telling me you didn't even try to save your brother?
Papa, I told you. They was already dragging him off. There was nothing I could do by myself. Papa, I rode hard. I rode hard all night to come home and tell you. Now, if we just get the boys together, we can go back.
What good'll that do? If he's already dead when I get there. It's your job to take care of your brother. It's always been your job. Anything happens to that boy, and you'll get the exact same thing from me, and that's a promise.
Oh, Papa, they won't kill him.
Why won't they?
They got no call to.
You was trespassing their land, wasn't you?
Well, I guess we...
Well, no Clanton caught by himself on Apache land's got one chance in 1,000 of living to tell about it.
They don't even know he's a Clanton.
Maybe not, but they got some mighty fancy ways of finding out. Now, you go get Charlie and send him after the boys. All of them.
Well, Papa, if I...
Get out of my sight.
Yes, sir.
Chief Natchez took one of them a prisoner?
The little one.
What happened to Ike?
He got away.
He's now home telling his papa about it. Why didn't you leave him alone?
We could not, Marshal Earp. He found a burial cave. The gods would have been angry.
All right.
Not just wait for you and Mr. Clum.
You go to Mr. Clum's house. He'll have to ride with you to San Carlos while I stop old man Clanton from going. If I can.
I told you to get off my ranch, Earp. Ain't no use hanging around. Ain't nothing you can say to change my mind. I ain't fool enough to believe that you can save Finn.
Yeah, but you can, huh?
I got 100 boys coming up from the border. Every one of them good, mean shots. We'll save him.
Did you know that Ike and Finn were selling whiskey to the Chiricahuas?
Got nothing to do with it. Who says it was?
I do. We caught the Apache that was dealing with them, Nulu. He's also the one that lied to them about gold in the San Carlos.
Well, now, if and he lied, why did the Apaches take Finn? Make sense of.
Because Finn was opening up burial caves, not digging for gold. There is no gold up there.
How do you know what Finn was doing?
Because Chief Natchez sent me a messenger. He also said he'd wait for me to get there before I did anything about your boy.
Why? He owe you a favor?
Natchez wanted to stop the whiskey. There's too much drinking, too much talk about the warpath, joining up with Geronimo.
He know Finn peddled that whiskey?
I don't think so.
You gonna tell him?
He'd kill Finn if I did.
I have to study this. If when I was to call off my boys, give you a chance to get Finn out of there, it means I'd have to go along, make sure there ain't no slip-ups.
Mr. Clanton, your outfit is a bunch of hoodlums, thieves, and murderers. I don't like you. The last thing I want to do is save your dirty hides. But if that's what I have to do to prevent an Apache war...
I heard enough, Sonny. Now, you got your choice. Me or my gunfighters. Take your pick.
You better get your hat. We'll be late.
Marshal Earp comes with one man.
You gonna let the boy go?
No, he is bad. He brings trouble to me and my people.
Now, wait a minute. I didn't do anything more than Nula. He bought the whiskey, didn't he?
The boy's right, Chief. After all, Nula did tell him that wild story about gold being here in the San Carlos.
We wait for Marshal Earp. Then I decide.
Boy, you better watch yourself. You got any idea what's gonna happen to you if we can't get you out of here?
Now, you aren't blaming me for everything. It ain't my fault that the Indians don't like living on a reservation.
And I suppose it ain't your fault that you're a greedy little fool either, is it?
Papa!
Well, it took you long enough to get here, Wyatt.
We waited for you a long time. Now you bring him. Why?
I got as much right here as anybody else.
Chief Natchez, I brought the boy's father because he wanted to promise you himself there'd be no more whiskey sold to the Chiricahuas.
Promise to sell no more whiskey while you sidewinding John Law. You low-down Judas.
Speak.
Well, that ain't exactly why I come here.
You got a choice?
Blast you up. I'm bossing a big outfit, but I ain't everybody in Arizona.
Papa!
You shut up! All I can do is give you my word on it. None of my boys will sell whiskey to the Apaches again, and that goes for my whole outfit. Any of them does, I'll shoot them myself personally.
It is enough. Bring the boy. You may take him with you. Chiricahuas, thank you, Mr. Club. To look at you and see a boy instead of a man must bring great sorrow to your father. Mr. Clanton, the gods already have punished you. Chief Natchez bows to their wisdom.
Come on, Pete. I'll take care of you when I get you home.
Take good care of Mr. Phillips. Long ride coming in from Tucson.
Sure thing, Marshal. You get a conviction on them outlaws?
In Yuma prison long before we headed for home.
They was bad, them two. Old Roscoe sure looks tuckered, Mr. Gibbs.
He is tuckered. Cool him out before you feed him, will you?
I sure will.
Know something? He babies that mule more than you do yourself. Now, you can trust Roscoe with him.
Why, I'd depend a whole lot on Roscoe. If he is to get sick, then what?
Oh, I'd hate to even think about it.
Yeah.
Well, Mr. Dameron, those cowboy friends of yours were convicted. I'd be happy to give a report for your newspaper.
I'm not interested, Up. Those cowboys were innocent. And you persecuted half this town at one time or another.
Jailing outlaws ain't exactly persecuting. It's just too bad we can't fix editors for telling lies in their newspapers.
I've had about all I want from you, Gibbs. Your turn is coming.
You try anything with me, Dameron, and I'll squash you like a sow bug. I ain't polite like Wyatt is.
Papers in Tombstone. Mayor John P. Clum's paper supported Wyatt Earp, but the Nugget in the frontier days of 1881 was controlled by Wyatt's enemies. the 10% ring, Sheriff Bean, and the Clanton Outlaws, who used the paper to discredit Wyatt Earp.
Come on out there before I... Jake, hold on, sir. Look out. Jake, will you quit kicking? Jake, will you? Look out. Jake, you consarn mule.
Oh, no, not that mule again.
He's been acting up again down at number 3 drift, kicking and a-biting. The men don't want to bother with him no more. It's just too risky. We better put a twist on her nose.
There's no use wasting any more time with him. Take the harness off him and turn him loose.
Don't do that, please, Mr. Morgan.
Please, what, Ollie?
I'll give you $2 for him.
What do you want him for, boy?
Well, me and Pa can use him for prospecting.
Ah, no. That mule's no good.
Me and Pa can handle him. Here's the $2 I got saved up.
He'll hurt you, boy.
No, he won't. Honest. And Pa needs him, Mr. Morgan.
All right. But if you're lying, you know what your pa'll do to you. It's happened before.
Why, sure. Then can I have Jake?
You can have him. But you take that mule straight home, and don't you go near him till your pa gets back.
Why, sure. I know Jake. He's awful mean. Here's the $2.
Now remember your promise, Ollie. You let your pa handle Jake.
Yes, sir, Mr. Morgan. And thanks. Come on, Jake.
Ollie can tell more lies than any 2 kids in town. Why, I wouldn't trust him any further than I would that mule.
I know. But somehow, a bad boy never gets hurt. His old man isn't a bad sort. If he can handle Jake, we've done him a favor.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Jake! Jake, come back! Jake! Jake, come back, Jake! Oh, my leg. Papa whipped me for this. He'll kill me. It's bleeding awful. Mr. Phillips! Mr. Phillips! Help! Mr. Phillips!
Ollie, what's wrong?
Roscoe, he kicked me.
He what?
He sure enough did. I think my leg's busted.
Will you stay right here? I'll get Dr. Goodfellow.
Oh! Is it gonna be all right, Doc? Is it gonna be all
It's
right?
gonna be all right, Ollie. It's gonna be all right.
It hurts.
Mr. Phillips said it was Roscoe that kicked him.
Well, some animal kicked him. He's got a cracked shin bone.
It was Roscoe, your mule.
Did you twist his tail?
No, I didn't. I just went to the stall to borrow a piece of rope. Then he kicked me.
Well, that don't sound like Roscoe.
No, it doesn't. You sure, son?
Well, I don't know who kicked me, don't I?
Now, hold on, Ollie. Hold on. You can argue about this after I get a cast on his leg.
Well, it was Roscoe.
You got no right to accuse my mule,
Later,
boy.
Mr. Gibbs, you go back on patrol.
Well, all right. But Roscoe don't never kick without a good reason.
Doc, I'll give you a hand with that cast.
The plaster of Paris is in the cabinet. She's got a bad cut here. We're going to have to work around it.
Am I gonna die of blood poisoning?
No, Ollie, you're not going to die of anything. Now, lie down.
Mr. Herb?
Yeah?
If I'm unconscious when my pop comes home, will you explain to him just how it happened?
I'll explain to him the way you say it happened.
Hand me that can of ether, will you, Wyatt?
Ether? What's that for?
Now, never mind, Ollie. It won't hurt a bit. You won't feel a thing.
Mr. Woods, hold the paper and come in here. What's up, Mr. Derman? Shotgun Gibbs' mule just kicked Ollie Burton and broke his leg. Take this down.
Yes, sir.
The mule, ridden by Chief Deputy Gibbs, is a vicious and dangerous animal. Today, Ollie Burton, a child, was almost killed, but instead is crippled for life. We demand that Marshal Wyatt Earp take immediate action. Now, put that in a 2-column box on the front page and use this headline. Earp's deputy responsible for crippling child.
Well, Ollie ain't crippled, and we only got his word for it that Roscoe done it.
Calm down, will you?
Well, Well, I'm gonna go over there and fix that nugget editor right now.
Mr. Gibbs. Look, this is just the kind of reporting that Mr. Clum likes to catch the nugget printing. Mr. Clum is going to fix him in his paper.
Mr. Clum? Well, how do you think Roscoe feels about it?
Mr. Gibbs, Roscoe is a mule and he doesn't read newspapers.
But he'll know it if folks is turned against him.
Well, beating up on Dameron isn't going to change anything.
Oh, that drunken fool has done it again. He's stuck his chin way out this time.
Mr. Gibbs is mighty upset.
I darn sure am.
Well, you've got every reason to be, Mr. Gibbs. Oh, I got a complete statement from Dr. Goodfellow on the extent of the injuries that Ollie Burton suffered. Crippled child, indeed. Oh, that boy's no more than a tough little hoodlum. I wouldn't believe him on an oath.
And why do you say that?
Why, you know that boy's a hoodlum.
No, I don't. He acts more scared than he does tough. He hasn't got a mother. His father's hardly ever home, and when he is, he treats him too rough.
Not rough enough, you mean. Mr. Gibbs, what I want from you is a statement denying that Roscoe is vicious.
Vicious? Why, that mule's so gentle he's sickening.
Well, he works as a water boy out at the Tough Nut Mine. I'll take a ride out there in the morning, talk to the foreman.
Fine, but my paper goes to press at midnight, Wyatt. As soon as I can get on the street, I'm going to be calling Dameron a liar and a fool.
You want my statement about Roscoe's character?
You go right ahead, Mr. Gibbs.
Wilson, ever since I knowed that mule, he's had a heart of pure gold.
Mr. Woods! Mr. Woods! Yes, sir. Listen to this. I'll read you. We have caught the nugget lying again. This happens so often that the readers of this paper may question its value as news. But Dameron has attacked an innocent mule. This is a new law, even for the nugget. There is deliberate lying slander in every sentence of the nugget story. All right. The nugget is going to demand that Gibbs' mule be destroyed. Forthwith. Take this down.
And the mule came back here, huh?
Yeah, I figured he was too much for that boy to handle.
Well, did you warn Ollie about it?
Sure, I warned him. I wouldn't have sold him the animal in the first place. Only he told me his dad was coming home and that he could use him. We sold Jake to a saddle tramp this morning.
Well, if your miners couldn't handle him, you did the right thing.
Well, I wasn't there, of course. So I can't swear to it, but I feel certain that Jake is a mule that kicked him.
I think you're right. By the way, what did Jake look like?
Just a mean-eyed, lop-eared, black mule.
Well, thanks, Mr. Morgan. I appreciate it.
So long, Marshal.
Howdy, Mayor Clum.
Oh, hello, Shotgun. You seen the nugget today?
Nope. What's it say?
Better take a look. Mr. Dameron wants your mule killed.
Oh, he does he? Well, if that don't beat all I ever seen. Any of you men here figuring on killing Roscoe?
Oh,
no,
Roscoe.
Well, I thank you kindly. Come on, Roscoe.
You get out of here. Both of you.
Oh, hello there, Mr. Dameron. Me and Roscoe just come to have a little chat with you.
I don't want to chat with you. Not with either one of you.
Well, we want to talk to you, though. I just want to introduce you to my mule over here. Roscoe, this here is Mr. Dameron.
Look, you let go of me.
The fella that wrote all them lies about you in this newspaper.
Look, you get me away from this mule.
He ain't gonna kick you. See?
Help!
You don't need no help.
Mr. Dameron, me. Well, don't stand there. Do something. I'll put you in jail for this. I'll sue you.
Well, you sue your head off. But don't you put no more dirty lies in that newspaper of yours about Roscoe. Things ought to be a mite different now, Roscoe.
Mr. Gibbs, what were you doing in there with Roscoe?
Well, sir, I'll tell you just how it happened.
Marshal, I want this man arrested. He beat up my printers and wrecked my property.
Is that true?
Well, yeah.
Let's take a little trip over to the jail.
All right, sir. Well, he's demanding in his newspaper that folks around here kill Roscoe. Got me a mite riled.
So you have to go and do exactly what I asked you not to.
Well, they ain't gonna hang Roscoe.
No? Well, I'll tell you what you've done. I was out talking to Mr. Morgan at the Tough Nut Mine. He sold Ollie a bad-acting mule yesterday. And he thinks it was that mule that broke the boy's leg.
I knowed it wasn't Roscoe. I told you he's innocent all the time.
Yes, you did. Sure you did. And everything would have been all right, but you have to go and lose your temper and give Dameron something to really sink his teeth into. You go and attack him, you and your mule.
Mr. Gibbs. Great work, sir. Great work. I want a full account.
You're a big help, too.
I know what's the matter with you, why? Dameron had it coming to him, and from all I hear, why, Mr. Gibbs, you did a pretty good job, boy. I'm proud of you, boy. I'm proud of you.
Well, Wyatt ain't. He thinks I done wrong.
Because now we have to try and find the other mule. Maybe you'd like to put up bond for Mr. Gibbs, $25.
I'll be glad to, Wyatt. $25. What other mule?
The guilty one. Thanks to your editorials and shotgun's temper, Dameron can magnify this into a major attack. Now we have to stop our really important work to try and prove that a mule by the name of Roscoe didn't kick Ollie and a mule by the name of Jake did.
You think you can prove it?
Maybe. If we get Ollie to tell the truth, it might save us a trip after Jake. You didn't buy that mule from Mr. Morgan.
No, I didn't.
He says you did.
Well, him and those miners are always playing jokes.
And you don't know anything about Jake.
No, I don't. All I know is Roscoe kicked me and my leg hurts. Can't you leave me alone?
Land's sake, Marshal, quit pestering the boy.
My pop will be home tonight, maybe. He'd glare at me good if I did anything without him saying so. I couldn't buy no mule of my own.
We're wasting our time, Wyatt.
Good day, ma'am. I'm sure the boy's telling the lie. We'll have to try and find that mule.
You doing this just to clear Roscoe's name, Wyatt?
No, it's important to expose the nugget to the town. When a boy tells a lie, it can cause trouble. But when a newspaper tells a lie, it can cause more than trouble. People are liable to find the paper 100 years from now and believe it.
Howdy, Mr. Morgan.
Howdy, Marshal.
We're going after that mule you sold at that saddle camp this morning.
Well, he's got about a 3 to 4 hour start on you.
Which way was he heading?
He was heading south on the border trail.
Thank you.
Trail's still fresh. Passed by here about an hour ago. Sure like to find him before sundown.
Ow, that stinks.
Well, it's better than having an infection in that cut.
Oh, look, Ollie, here's your paw.
What's the matter with Ollie?
Got kicked by a mule.
It was Mr. Shotgun Gibbs' mule, Pop. He broke my leg.
Oh, he did he?
We're not sure of that, Burton.
Oh, he's just trying to make excuses for Roscoe, Pop. He attacked me.
Yes, everybody's read about it. It's all in the Nugget.
Mr. Dameron is an alcoholic liar, and his newspaper is worse. Now, the boy's going to be all right.
Why are you sticking up for Gibbs and his mule?
Roscoe attacked me on purpose, Pop.
That'll do. If you want my advice, you let the matter drop.
Well, now, his leg's broke, ain't it? And he's my boy, ain't he?
Yes, and next to Dameron, he tells the biggest whoppers in Tombstone. I'll look in on Ollie tomorrow. Good day, sir.
I'll get the paper and you can read it for yourself.
You telling me the truth, boy?
Why, Pop? Cross my heart and hope to die. Oh, I don't have nothing against Mr. Gibbs. Only his mean old mule Roscoe.
Here's the Nugget, Zach. If it's in the paper, I reckon it must be so, just like Ollie tells it.
Let me see what Dameron says. Oh, much obliged for taking care of the boy, Martha. Right neighborly.
Does it hurt much, son?
Oh, a lot.
Oh, Wyatt, this the mule?
Yeah. Broke loose, headed back to the mine. That's where we picked him up.
Watch yourself, boys. That mule's the kicker and the biter.
Well, I've really got Dameron nailed to the barn door this time. Wyatt, you should have been a newspaper man. I state that Roscoe's innocent, and you go out and bring in the real culprit. Now, that's good reporting.
Oh, wait a minute. We haven't got a confession from Ollie yet, and you're sure not going to get one from that mule.
What'd you say this animal's name was?
Jake.
Jake, huh?
Yeah, Mr. Morgan at the mine said that he sold him to Ollie with a warning that he was vicious.
Well, I'm going to have a woodcut made of Jake and print it on the front page. Oh, I'd love to see Dameron's skin out of this. You know the whole town's going to be laughing at him.
Well, I wish you'd turn to something else, at least until the boy's father gets back and we get the truth out of him.
Well, that's a lot of nonsense, Wyatt. We don't need anything from Ollie. The facts speak for themselves. Now, if you gentlemen excuse me, I'm going to write an editorial.
Come on, let's get Jake over to the OK Corral.
Well, what's fidgeting you? You done cleared Roscoe's name, ain't we?
Mr. Clum never knows when to quit.
Well, Roscoe ought to have the whole truth printed about him.
Mr. Gibbs, I have told you that Roscoe doesn't give a hang about what the Nugget says about him. A mule is libel proof. You can't slander a mule.
Well, Roscoe has feelings.
All right. All right, then. Roscoe has helped save American journalism. The Nugget hangs its head in shame. That make you happy? Come on, Jake.
Well, you hear that, Roscoe? You've done whooped the Nugget. Now. Just don't go getting uppity and big-headed about it. Just mind your manners.
Hi, Doc.
Oh, Wyatt?
We found that mule that really kicked Ollie.
Well, you better tell Zach Burton that.
Is he back?
He is, and I didn't like his attitude.
Why, what do you have to say?
Well, nothing yet, but he's righteous about things at the wrong times, and he's just gullible enough to believe everything he reads in print. You better have a talk with him, Wyatt.
Yes, sir, I'll do that. Thanks.
All right.
Shoot Roscoe, Pop?
The Nugget says he's vicious and should be destroyed. I reckon that's my job. I'm your pa. What you doing here, boy? You'll bust that leg all over again.
It wasn't Roscoe that done it, Pop. I told a whopper. A mule named Jake done it.
Oh, sure, sure.
Please, Pop, you gotta believe me. It ain't fair to kill Roscoe for something that Jake done. I was scared to tell you about Jake, Pop, but don't kill Roscoe. He didn't do it.
Get back, boy, back.
Don't shoot, Pop. Please don't shoot.
Zach, put down that rifle. That mule's got to be killed, Marshal.
I said put down that rifle.
I just heard Ollie tell you that Roscoe didn't kick and break his leg.
Well, don't pay him no mind. The paper said that Roscoe done it. Don't you think I can read?
You see what happens, Ollie? You tell a lie and get the whole town believing it. Now you want to tell the truth and nobody will believe you.
I don't care if you wallow me, Pop. Roscoe didn't do it.
Well, what about the newspaper?
They made up all that stuff themselves. Isn't that right, Ollie?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Burton, your boy told a lie, and the whole town's up in arms about it. That's only a mule, but if you'd have killed Roscoe, you'd have started something bigger that nobody could have stopped.
I didn't mean to cause that much trouble.
You get home.
Do I get a licking?
You get what you got coming. Now get.
Go on, eat your supper, Roscoe.
Of all the twisty, shifty, double-crossing John Laws, you were the worst. You never had any intention of marrying him, huh?
Well, did you have any intention of breaking up your outfit of cattle thieves and murderers?
That's not the point.
Well, what is?
You was in cahoots with that city lawyer. You still are. Well, let me tell you something, Earp. My boys have got every trail blocked.
They have. Well, that's right, Interester. You're under arrest, Mr. Clanton.
All right, Sonny. Send for my lawyers.
Not tonight.
What do you mean?
I'm holding you incommunicado for a while.
On what charge?
Threatening the life of your future son-in-law, Mr. Tom Ware.
Well, Emma ain't marrying him, by heaven. I got a father's rights to protect a child from making a mistake. And as for you, Mr. Earp, I'm gonna whip you with my bare hand.
Now, look, Mr. Clanton, I don't want to have to wrestle with you.
Wrestle? I'm gonna knock your ears off. What, you no good? Stunky! What a useless excuse for a marshal! One of these days I'm gonna get hold of you and I'm gonna shoot the very night!
Notorious Clanton outfit. The girl's determination to reform her father, Old Man Clanton, had aroused Wyatt's sympathy. But her way of accomplishing what she wanted confronted Marshal Earp with a perilous choice.
Got him all fed and watered for you, Finn.
That's fine. Look, Papa wanted me to tell you a couple of things. Number one, my sister Em is coming in from New Orleans.
Oh, trouble.
Number two, all guards are to remain out of sight. Number three, a guard is to be posted at the front gate, and that's to see that none of the men ride in drunk and... You got that?
Yeah.
Oh, one more thing. My sister Em is a lady, so there's to be no fighting, no shooting of guns, nothing like that around the bunkhouse or the corral, you understand? I've got to go collect Ike and Billy and deliver them to Papa sober so they can say howdy to Sis.
How come the old man put it all on you, Finn?
Ringo and Brocious are in Charleston, and the Flowerys are dipping cattle, so Papa says I'm it. You pass the word about Sis here.
Yeah.
Ha! Ha! Here, take this out and step it up, because she'll be here any minute. Just pump yourself, man. Now, you go out and wash them windows. Oh, wait a minute. Come here. Now, you see them crystals? I want every one of them crystals polished till they shine like a diamond. Here.
How about Miss Emma's room, boss?
I plumb forgot that. Ooh, it ain't been touched since she left. Go get a clean mop and dust, and will you stop fiddling with that doll?
Yes, sir.
And hurry it up.
Yes, sir.
What's holding you up, Brad?
I'm a coming, boss.
I'm telling you, I aim to persuade that gal to stay home where she belongs. I thought I told you to move that thing. Now get a rug big enough to cover that wet spot. It'll never get dry by the time she gets here. Hold this. Now, don't drop it. That cost $10.
Hey, boss. Hawkins just sprung this from Tombstone.
Well, it's about time. Brad, you do what you can now. I gotta put these flowers on Miss Clanton's grave. Fresh this time. If they hadn't been, I'd have pistol whipped that Hawkins personal. Here, you help the boys. Well, get at it.
It'll take more than dust cloths and flowers to convince Miss Emmy.
awfully good supper. I haven't had food like this since I left. And my, isn't the Clanton family putting on airs?
Well, it's all in your honor, Emma.
Yeah, we missed you. Papa most of all.
You going to college, Billy?
Well,
Him? He figures that he's too smart already.
Well, you got a big mouth, Ike.
Oh, come on, Billy. He's only having fun with you. What about you, Ike? I thought you'd be married by now.
I'd marry the kind of girls he runs around with. Nobody'd marry.
Hush up, Finn. Mind your manners.
Yeah, I don't see you doing so good either.
That reminds me. Sally's waiting. Papa, may I be excused, please?
Sally's waiting. Gaileyville, Sally. All of you is excused.
Bye, Em.
Em and I want to have a little visit.
Bye, Em. Nice to have you home.
Have a good day.
Hey, Ike, give me my hat.
Oh, well, that's what you have.
Bye, Emma. Papa.
What you looking at, Papa?
You. You know, being in New Orleans has changed you.
Oh, really?
Well, you're much more growed up. You haven't fallen in love.
Maybe. I'm not certain.
Well, who is he?
He's a lawyer. His name is Tom Ware, and he wants to marry me. But I decided to come home and think about it.
Sensible. You know anything about cattle?
No,
You ride a horse?
not very well.
Can he shoot a 45?
He's a lawyer, Papa.
Ain't you still a mite sweet on water?
Papa!
Well, I'm just asking.
Well, he's not sweet on me. Besides, he's a John Law.
Well, he's a man, by Joe. You know, I've been thinking, sis, maybe a man of my age ought to take it easier.
Are you joking me?
No, I ain't. If he'd just quit being a John Law. You know, I'd be mighty tempted to turn over most of the ranches to you and him. Mind you, I'd have to quit. I wouldn't rest easy knowing a John Law is married to Mahoney's daughter.
Papa, you mean it? You'd give up all this...
Now, talk straight out, Em. I know I ain't always been law-abiding.
But you would retire? You'd break up the Clanton outfit?
Ask Up what he'll do.
I just can't go and propose to Wyatt. I've got my pride same as yours.
All right, we won't think no more about it.
Papa?
Talk straight out, Em.
I'd marry just about anybody to get you out of the business you're in. You and my brothers.
Right now, you sure do remind me of your ma. But I ain't promising nothing in advance.
No, of course not. All right. I'll talk to Wyatt.
Well, you can't run into him accidental out here. You better move into a hotel in town. The best one. And don't you do no proposing. You just sound him out. A smart young lady knows how to do that. Your ma did.
All right, Papa. I'll try. I'll try.
You sure do remind me of your ma.
I know you're not in love with me, Wyatt. But I have to find out if Papa really will retire and break up the outfit.
Well, I sure hope he does. He's powerful and he's clever. But one of these days, his luck is going to run out. I wouldn't enjoy having to kill him.
Well, then you'll help me. It'll only be a pretend engagement. You see, Papa's hinted that if you will stop being a John Law and marry me, he'll stick to his part of the bargain. I know it's shameless of me even to ask such a favor, but this could be Papa's last chance to quit.
Miss Emma, I'm very fond of you. If you weren't a Clanton and I wasn't the marshal of Tombstone, Well, we both know. Look, honestly, I think you should go to New Orleans and marry the lawyer.
Papa doesn't approve of Tom.
Well, frankly, I don't think that he'd actually like me for a son-in-law either. Besides, this idea of yours might not prove that he's really willing to retire.
Well, the engagement doesn't have to be announced if you're ashamed if somebody found out.
Well, that's not it, and you know it. It's just that it's complicated and dangerous. Oh, I'll help you. It's just that I want to talk to the old man first. Your father isn't the kind of a man to fool around with. You're welcome to the use of my name, but I think we ought to make sure it's going to work first.
Thank you. I mean that.
Come on in, get comfortable. Safer talking in here. That guard of mine's got bigger ears than a tattletale woman. Sit down. Now, did him and you talk real personal?
Well, yes, we did.
Well, what did him say in plain words?
Oh, just that she was hoping that you'd retire.
Fiddle. Well, ain't neither of you school children. Why didn't you get down to cases? Well, my deal with him was that if you and her figured on marrying, and if you'd get shed of that star, well, then I'd turn over the business to you. Lemonade for courage.
That might make me a little bit dizzy, but here goes.
I've been thinking a heap about this family inheritance business, and I made up my mind. Now, what do you say about the deal?
Well, if you really want to quit.
Soon as you quit being a John Law.
Well, all I have to do is resign, but it may not be so easy for you.
Why not?
Broches, Ringo, the McClarys, even your own boys, they might make trouble.
Not if you're smart. Now, I called you a lot of things, Herb, but I never called you stupid.
Well, thank you.
Tom McClar's talking about pulling up stakes. Frank will go along with Tom. Ringo can be bought off. Might have to gun Broches and take care of Bean, but that ain't no problem.
What do you mean by take care of Bean?
Well, you don't know as much about my outfits as I thought. When I and you start after Bean, we can send him up for 10 years without even firing a shot.
Ranch?
Who are you?
My name is Ware. I'm from New Orleans. Is Miss Emma Clanton at home?
No, she ain't.
How about Mr. Clanton?
He's busy.
Oh, fine. Then I'll wait.
Hold it, mister. You just state your business, and I'll see if the boss wants to be bothered.
Is this some kind of a practical joke? My name is Ware. Tell Mr. Clanton and his daughter that I'm here to see them.
I'm Clanton.
Oh, Mr. Clanton. I wasn't expecting to have rifles pointed at me. How do you do, sir? My name is Ware.
Oh, yes, Emma told me about you. Shyster from New Orleans, ain't she?
I don't quite understand, sir. Well, where is Miss Emma? She and I are engaged.
Not anymore, you ain't. I called it off. You get.
I'm Marshal Epps, sir. Things here are mighty complicated right now. I'll take Mr. Ware back to Tombstone.
Well, we ain't finished our business.
Later, Mr. Clanton. I'm sure that Miss Emma will have a few things that you might want to explain to Mr. Ware.
Oh, yes, well, well, you settle things with him, but I don't want to see him no more.
Dr. Holliday is meeting us on the trail. I'm sure that he and I can explain part of this to you.
I certainly hope so, Marshal. It's bad manners to point guns at visitors, friend.
Why, you...
Hold it.
Let's have no trouble. Get in the wagon, Mr. Ware.
Very well.
get Miss Emma and Mr. Ware started for New Orleans.
If she'll go.
Well, why wouldn't she? Mr. Ware promised to tell her the truth about the way old man Clanton acted.
She doesn't want Tom, she wants you.
Come on, Doc.
If I know women, she's probably announced your engagement already. Try jilting Emma Clanton. You're hooked, Wyatt.
That's nonsense. She knows I'm not in love with her. Look, you got this whole thing wrong. She's in love with Tom. There's not going to be any shooting about it either. Will you stop playing with that gun and go take yourself a nap? When a man's tuckered, he thinks silly.
Morituri te salutamus Caesarem. We who are about to die.
Will you stop it?
Die or marry, it's not much of a choice, Wyatt. But I'll stand up with you at the altar or against the Clanton guns.
I had to be honest, Tom. I'm just not sure I love you.
Is it Wyatt Earp?
I'm not even sure about that now. You must think I'm an awful fool.
No. I think you're in love with Marshal Earp. He's everything I'm not. He can hold his own with your father and his gunslingers.
Oh, no. It's not that. Let me talk to Wyatt. I'm so mixed up, I don't even know what Papa said to him. And Wyatt has always treated me like just a sister. Just give me a little time.
Time? Whatever you decide, I'll always love you.
What'd she say?
No luck. She wants you.
Well, that's just a notion. She's been using me to try and persuade her father that he should retire.
That doesn't sound like Emma.
Look, Mr. Ware, she's desperate. She's not thinking clearly.
Well, I don't know. Oh, she said she'd talk to you.
When?
Right away, I got it.
Look, are you willing to help me with a little play acting?
How do you mean?
Let's go out the side door, I'll tell you.
Hold on now, Earp. I want this settled before you talk to Emma. There's nothing to settle. I think there's a lot to settle. You don't love Emma. You just want the old man to give you a big spread. Well, what's wrong with that? He offered me 50,000 head of cattle and 5,000 acres. And you went for it? You're so low down you'd marry Emma for that?
Why, sure. If she's fool enough to let Clanton buy her a husband, it might as well be me.
You filth.
Tom! Tom! Tom, stop it. Wyatt! Tom, Wyatt!
Come on, get up.
No, that's enough. You gave him just what he deserved.
He had a lot of temptation, Emma.
That's no excuse. Will you take me back to the hotel, please? I'd like to get out of this town.
Of course, dear.
Doc, it's Wyatt.
All right. All right. When's the wedding?
No wedding, not to me. I decided to take Mr. Ware.
Miraculous escape. How did you manage it?
Never mind. Here, put these on. If I know Clanton, he's going to send somebody to gun Ware. I may need some help to get him out of town. Get your hat and coat.
Gladly. You know, I thought you'd either be dead or married.
There they are.
Come on, he catches. Quick! Come on.
Do you get in the hotel and stay there. Mr. Clanton will be coming to see me. You two stay out of it. I'll send word when it's safe to leave town. Very well. All right, you've seen men bleed before. Get them over to Dr. Goodfellow. Doc.
I want to talk to you.
Evening, Mr. Clanton.
Don't you evening me. Some boys are sent to scare that no-good lawyer, and you shot him up. Another thing, where's Emma?
Let's talk inside.
Of all the twisty, shifty, double-crossing John Laws, you're the worst. You never had any intention of marrying Emma.
Well, did you have any intention of breaking up your outfit of cattle thieves and murderers?
That's not the point.
Well, what is?
You was in cahoots with that city lawyer. You still are. Well, let me tell you something, Earp. My boys have got every trail blocked.
They have? Well, now, that's right interesting. You're under arrest, Mr. Clanton.
All right, Sonny. Send for my lawyers.
Not tonight.
What do you mean?
I'm holding you incommunicado for a while.
On what charge?
Threatening the life of your future son-in-law, Mr. Tom Ware.
Well, Emma ain't marrying him, by heaven. I got a father's rights to protect a child from making a mistake. And as for you, Mr. Earp, I'm gonna whip you with my bare hands.
Now, look, Mr. Clanton, I don't want to have to wrestle with you.
Wrestle? I'm gonna knock your ears off. Why, you no good, skunky, what a useless excuse for a marshal. One of these days I'm gonna get hold of you, and I'm gonna jump the very life.
Thanks.
Who is it?
Wyatt.
Come in. Miss Emma? Mr. Clanton has men guarding the trails. I arrested him. His rig is out in the alley. These are his. Put them on.
Emma, you still determined to run for it?
Yes, tonight.
Very well.
My idea is that you head for the ranch. You drive. Tom, you act like you're drunk or asleep. I think anybody watching the trail will think that you're taking your papa home.
It might work.
If it does, you swing off the trail and shortcut to the Benson stage.
All right.
I think it's the only way to avoid more shooting, Emma.
I said all right, Tom. Has the marshal any other suggestions?
Just one. I think you should write your father a letter. Tell him that you love and forgive. In his way, he loves you very much.
I've written. Would you mind giving this to Papa?
Not at all. I wish you luck.
Thank you.
I'll be following you with a posse till you get to the Benson Depot. Thank you, sir.
Well, hi, Doc.
Hi. I assume they got away.
Yep, safe on the train to New Orleans. Let the old man out.
Where's that Earth? He ain't heard the last of jailing me.
Your guns are right there, Mr. Clanton. Your hat and your coat. Here's a letter from Miss Emma.
Reckon I know what it says.
I don't think you do. You better read it.
Dear Papa, I want you to know that we forgive you and still love you. We hope we got your blessing. Tell Wyatt no hard feelings. After all I've done, my little girl still loves me. Em says tell you no hard feelings. But that don't go for me, Earp. You're nothing but a jib-headed Judas.
Now tell me, Wyatt, how did you ever slick out of marrying Emma?
I didn't. she loves another man. Always bet on love, Doc. And let the cynics weep.
Well, he cleaned up the country, the old Wild West country. He made law and order prevail. And none can deny it, the legend of Wyatt forever will live on the trail.